Forth as we need it.
No, I have a few questions for you guys. No.
Yeah.
Well,
He was kidding.
Huge in the books. Are you guys Harry Potter fans?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, great. Now, if you could just tell us what are some of your
Little bit.
favorite books, if you could just go down the line, that would be great.
Yeah, we just want to go down the line. We'll just pass it down. Or of the Harry Potter books. I was one of those kids that would read them all the first night. I would get them and then stay up all night reading the entire book. And I know it's really unpopular, but I think my favorite book is book 5 because I like the moody, emotional emo book.
yeah, I actually don't consider myself a huge Harry Potter fan, and I've read them all 7 times, just comparatively to people who have read them like a million times. But I would say it's a tie between the 4th and the 5th, honestly, because I can't differentiate in my mind all the different things in both books, but I love that section of the Harry Potter story.
Which one?
The 4th and the 5th?
I remember not liking this 5th one, and it took me so long to read it until, because I was, I read like a child until about 5 or 6. And then at 6, I went to the midnight book thing, and I read it all night long. And 6 was probably my favorite. And, no, book 6. 6 years old was a great age, but book 6 was definitely, book 6 was my favorite just because it was the one that I went to. There was the one where I first went, yeah, I'm like ready for it on day 1, and was there, and also had to finish 5 very quickly in order to get to 6. So I was in the mindset.
This one's easy for me. I think that the 4th book is easily my favorite because it's got a nice big turning point, and it's got the biggest cliffhanger ending because things. It leaves you with so much expectation, which is ultimately may or may not be fulfilled. But the feeling of expectation by the end of the 4th book was unrivaled by any other emotion I ever felt.
Bravo.
All right, you guys obviously you play these fictional Harry Potter characters in the musicals. If you could meet these characters, what would you say to them?
Our character that we played?
If we could meet the actors, or if we can meet the fictional characters.
Meet the fictional characters that we play, though, but not as they are written in the book, but as they are, because they're different people. It's like Dolores Umbridge from the book is different from Dolores Umbridge in a Harry Potter musical.
No, I mean the characters in the actual books.
In the book, I see. Okay. Oh, holy moly! I don't know. That's a really tough one. I guess if I had to say something to Voldemort, it would be die. And then I'd, try to kill him, and then probably die myself.
But you'd be a brave dad.
Yeah, because he's a villain.
I would probably tell Bookron to just chill out and be the best friend to Harry as he could possibly be. Because that was the one thing in that Bookron annoyed me about, whereas I was like, he's trying too hard to be Harry. And it's like, no one will ever be Harry but Harry. So just be his best friend, because you're his number 2. And it's like, there's nothing wrong with that. And I think to just chill out and be a good friend.
I'd like to talk to Seamus, I guess. He seems pretty chill. We just hang out. I don't know. He seems really cool. He's not Harry. He's not Ron. He's just like the guy who just has fun and just slips under the radar. And seems like a cool guy. Fooling around. Marble.
I would tell nearly headless Nick that he should just get it over with. Just give him. Yeah, no. If I could, Snape is actually a really tough one because he ended up being a really, really deep character with a lot of different levels. So it would be hard to tell him anything. I would probably just tell him "Hey man, I like you. Somebody likes you." Maybe that would cheer him up, but he'd probably hate me because I told him I liked him. Yeah, he'd probably be a dick. So cool.
Leaky News asks, have you ever seen Quidditch being played before? And if you were going to play, which position would it be?
I haven't played Quidditch. We know how it works, and we've seen it played. Or you guys haven't seen it played live yet, have you? I saw it played live last year. It's really intense. If I could play any position, I would probably be a seeker because I'm small, and actually I would love to be a snitch. That would be my. I would love to be the snitch.
I'd probably want to be. I've never played, but I probably want to be a chaser. It seems really fun, just darting in and out and trying to score. Offensive. Go blue.
I've never played either, but I would probably want to be a keeper just because I hate running. I hate running so much, and it makes me wheezy. So I'd probably want to just hang out by the goal and occasionally get hit by a ball and go ooh. But I don't know. I can get some. I can cover some surface area when I need to. Keep up that goal, you know.
I would be a beater because I played defense when I used to play lacrosse. I used to almost exclusively be on the defensive line back when I played football. I don't think I've ever not played defense in any sport I've played. So yeah, I just definitely be a beater. And it sounds like fun to like. I mean, it's like I love playing dodgeball and hitting people and like seeing them. Like seeing the disappointment cross their face when they get like hit, it's great. Yeah. All right, so that's my answer.
And do you guys support any of the teams?
Yeah. Go blue.
Go blue.
Because we went there.
Because we went to school there.
But really, we just want to see a nice, clean game of Quidditch.
Yeah. Well played Quidditch all around.
So I remember during senior year in the recording, I heard through the grapevine that there were many, many rehearsals. This was, of course, at LeakyCon last summer. I was privileged enough to be there. Now, I just wanted to know, what were those rehearsals like? Just how hard was it? And, of course, senior year was kind of risque. I was wondering if there were any very risque scenes that just kind of got cut, that just didn't make it to the final version.
Holy moly. You saw the clean version that, like, works. Because so much of it was like mean, bizarre. It might have been really funny if we had like another month to rehearse it. But trying to tell a 4-hour story, and well, I was gonna say trying to tell a joke that's like a dirty joke or like dirty or sort of risque as you put it, and like not telling it well is really a different thing from telling a risque joke and really like laying it out. They kept. I think that probably the weirdest scene is the scene with the riddles. There's a scene, just tons of things from that scene were cut. I'd say that scene, what remains of that scene, is probably 50% of what was originally in that scene. In the scene, the grandmother is a horrible person. And she just kind of comes across as, like, mean in the final version, but she's just a nasty old woman. And
it's funny because the joke was as the scene went on, she started off as, like, this nice person, and she just ended up being just this terrible woman.
And the joke in the setup there is also that they're so awful and such terrible people that you don't feel bad, really, when Voldemort kills them. Is you should go... Yeah, thank God he kills them, because they're so awful and they're racist and they're
racist, like bigots, they're homophobic, they're terrible.
It's funny because I feel like with the senior year, a lot of it did get cut, but a lot more ended up than usually does in our shows because the previous two were not clean. The version you've seen online is sort of cleaned up, but definitely the original one, if you guys remember, Harry Potter musical was quite dirty when we did it, like because it was done for college students. You know, it was done for college students at night.
Some lines in this one that were a lot more risque.
This one was
Darker, yeah.
This one was thematically darker.
Definitely, I would agree with that.
I mean, the part that I was always like curious to see how people were going to react to was the Gilderoy, the Gilderoy Lockhart parts. Oh well, the Gilderoy Hermione part is sort of. I guess that's the weird part. I was like, man, when he takes on, maybe I'm getting confused about.
No, when he gives his monologue.
When he's going like, you know, it's fake, you idiot, it's a fake. You know, it's like, oh my God, you know. Yeah. And you're like, it's kind of funny, right? And you go, oh my God, like this is. I thought that was dark. I was like, that's dark. The Gilderoy Hermione part, I think. I mean, it's like, have you read 50 Shades of Grey? It's like, that's what it's making fun of. And it's like, that is vile stuff. So, or kind of hot, I don't know.
Sure, you may.
You guys are artists. Material that was never released. Will it ever be put in some form that Harry Potter fans or StarKid fans could enjoy? Extended cuts.
Well, the whole script was released.
Yeah, the script.
So you could have, if the whole script completely unedited, right? I believe, as far as I know, was all released online. So you could read it, and you could imagine what those in-between bits would probably be like.
Are you talking about in-cast hookups?
I think that a lot of the Nick Lang is the editor, more or less. I mean, the Langs edit it. Matt and Nick Lang, they edit it. And, they cut stuff for content, but actually what they do is they cut stuff. Often they cut stuff for, like, quality. I think a lot of things, it's like we just had a lot of goof-ups. And even if, say, a line was really well delivered, but there's, like there's microphone issues, so if there's someone coughing over it and you just can't get rid of it, it was, like, out. And so a lot of it is just kind of unwatchable, actually. People say, oh, we love to see that stuff. And then you watch it and you're like, I don't love to see this stuff. This is bad. I'm glad that it didn't get I'm glad it didn't get in there, And that's what happened with, I think 80% of the cuts are just because there was like a goof up or someone just didn't say their line in time and everyone's just kind of going, and it ruins the pacing of the show. So
when I get a movie sometimes on DVD and I'll go and watch the deleted scenes, and if it's an unfinished, crappy deleted scene, I'll go, cool, more scenes, and then I'll watch it and go, I'm glad this wasn't in the movie, or I'm going to stop watching this now. And I think we don't want that to happen with, the things that were goofs.
Hey guys, what can you tell me about the
Tim.
upcoming Twisted production?
There's not really much to say. The writers are keeping it pretty close to the chest. We're still in pre-production. And when I say we, I mean they. They just happen to be my roommates, so that's why I can talk about it. Because I'm not on the production team.
Joey and Brian, the Kickstarter for the Judas revamp kicked off. What can you tell me about that? How's it going?
It's going really well. We met our goal, thank God. All the projects that actually got released within a week of each other met their goals that were done through people, all of our friends, which was fantastic. So you guys are unbelievable for helping us and supporting us there. But it's going good. It's just it's pretty detailed on the Kickstarter page as to what is going on right now. And I think right now Julia's just in the process of like casting and figuring out where she wants to place people and in what parts and whatnot. And yeah, it's going to be rehearsal for that won't start until the end of July anyways. So we got a lot of time, but it's just all that pre-production figuring out. This is the first time Brian and I think have been on the production end of a show. So it's just kind of a lot of head work and leg work to make sure you are like got all your bases covered before the actual production starts. But it's exciting.
Yeah, and it'll be fun because there'll be lots of StarKid related people and also just lots of new faces for you guys to meet, which will be awesome.
And Joe, when's the next one-man shows us?
I don't know yet for sure. We're still working on that. I'm hoping to get a tour going. So that's sort of next on my docket. Hopefully I can come to all those places I've been wanting to go to but haven't been able to yet. Might be in July, but who knows.